Well, this is a little asynchronous.
So Dana,
I should have been over. I should have been over there because of the time, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I'll try to talk about now because now, now they're talking about now. But see, I'm thinking about the period of time between 1960 and 1980. Because, in other words, this information existed. Howard Lotsoff went to Allen Ginsberg in the Peace-Eye bookstore in 1963 and told him about his discovery. It misfired. Nothing happened. Now, I thought about this a lot. If he had gone to William Burroughs, it would have been different because William Burroughs would have really applied the information. But Allen Ginsberg, he started the pot movement, but long before pot started to become legalized, he moved on to something else. Anyway, this is the thing that turned me on to Ibogaine. Okay? I'm going to read you like a line. Allen started to talk about his visions and about the drug scene in New York and becoming eloquent, wound up preaching with passion about the junkies, helpless, hooked, lost, thinned, confused creatures, sick, and the police and the informers. I saw the best minds of my generation, destroyed by madness, starving, hysterical, naked, dragging themselves through the Negro streets at dawn looking for an angry fix, which is, of course, Beginning of Howl. It's the most famous poem. And it's just, it didn't happen automatically. It should have. You would have thought, this is a thing that is like so astonishing that it should have been picked right up on. But the same factors that kept it from being picked up on then are still facing us now. And that's what you have to understand. These guys were taking magic mushrooms. They ended up having a student there who was a super straight guy who apparently was really put off by queer people. And, of course, Allen Ginsberg and his boyfriend were walking around. They were literally naked hippies. Freaked the guy out. That began right here in 1960, began the counter-revolution against LSD, which we're, still have, right? That's what the story is really about. I somehow pulled this one little line out, and then a little bit later I read the beginning of Naked Lunch, which really talks about this idea. Most of the world, I don't want to go on too long here because they say I go on way too long. Most of the world wants to do LSD and psilocybin. They don't want to do Ibogaine. Ibogaine is this thing that is a blessing for people who have a drug problem, and it is going to be really fantastic in microdosing for like Parkinson's. But don't expect the marijuana movement, the medical marijuana movement, or the people who want to do psychedelics to do this for you. We're kind of on our own. And it's a huge thing. I mean, there'll be plenty of people that we can like recruit because the world heroin problem is huge and the world methamphetamine problem is twice as huge as that. And then there's a bunch of other stuff. But the important thing about Ibogaine, they were talking about the psychedelic revolution. And what they were talking about was the impact of psychedelics on society. society does not want to be impacted particularly. It's pretty conservative. And that potential to have like wild, uncontrolled change, early as 1960, led to the anthropology student going out and denouncing what he had seen. But this thing we have actually is revolutionary because heroin is big business. This is about money. This is about billions of dollars and about changing the relationship between the drugs themselves. And that's revolutionary in the classical Marxist sense. And this is the thing I'm concerned about. I mean, it's a lot of other people are not really studying this, but I'm kind of the guy that's the historian of this, and I think that we can go out and after this conference and change the world.
Thank you, Dana.